institutions in awe. So then Illinois gave her recognition. Then she excelled and graduated from Arkansas. Hip, hooray for Shafika. But you must know what it takes to excel. Hard work, support from mother and father. Good nutrition, discipline as well. Don't wait until they start succeeding to jump on the wagon to get media play. Help the young ones when they emerging.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
It is the 1st of July. It's the final month of Vinci Mass, and this is Activated Mornings with Roleza and Dianna and Kingsley DeFreitas, because at this time we have Kingsley already on the line to give us his usual morning commentary. Kingsley, good morning to you.
Yeah, special good morning to you. I can't help but listen to WEFM because I've been doing that for a longest while, over 20 years. And I've been paying attention to the traffic talk. And the constable you spoke to, you could record her and play her every morning because she said the same thing. I get the impression that the traffic officers don't go to the road and do a proper assessment of what's taking place in Simpson and again in terms of traffic. And that's unfair because there are people who look for information from the traffic department, what route they should take, and the traffic department should remind them that their license are due on their birthdays and the license could be paid before the it's just frustrating to hear that the traffic department personnel come to the race every morning and say the same thing. Every single day is the same thing. And when you criticize them, they find a way to get at you. And it has some vehicles that come in service and grannies have, beside headlamps and indicator in front, they have additional lights. That's what the police want you to believe that thing. And if you use those additional lights, and for some reason the traffic department is keeping duty at night, they will stop you. If you see them and you're fortunate, you could turn them off because those additional lights have independent switch. But with the more modern vehicle these days, and I was the other day, once you insert the key into the ignition, those lights came on. And don't care you try to explain to the police officers that these additional lights you see there are activated once the key is in the ignition. And they will say to you, they don't really concern with that additional lights being any other lights besides the headlamps. And hello, when I speak from experience because I have additional lights that are built onto the vehicle. And I was calling from Edinburgh a few nights ago where the road was terrible, so I used the additional lights. And when I got to OT business place in Cherry Street, I forgot I had the lights on, so police officer was going to give me a ticket for using additional lights. I tried to explain to him. He was bent and doing what he did. So he gave me a ticket. So I went and paid $80. Yesterday I got a summons making a demand on me to come to court tomorrow to appear to answer the charge. I took the receipt that I gave a police officer to pay for me yesterday. I spoke to Sergeant Caesar. He took the receipt, he told me he made a copy of the receipt and he asked me for my number and he will give me a call to determine if the receipt was paid. But I know it was paid because I gave a police officer the money to be paid. I haven't heard the Sergeant Caesar call me, but according to the summons, I have to appear because I say I command you to appear before magistrate in Kingston. And I walk alongside a taxi driver who is also a traffic police officer. And I get the impression from listening to him that the traffic department normally targets drivers. And I feel I'm in the unfortunate position when I criticize them that I'm being targeted. And that is not fair, because once I am not breaking the regulations confined to the traffic laws, I should not be targeted. Some of the words that they use, they are mild, they could use on the radio, but it tells me that traffic officers normally come out to target particular drivers. And I agree that some of the most indisciplined road users are minibus operators. And listen to the sergeant who is assigned to the traffic department who works taxi at airport, it appears that traffic officers are targeting particular drivers. I found myself in that position. So I know that once you critique the police officer, because I went to the traffic department yesterday and I spoke to the same officer who did the traffic report yesterday morning. You know why he did it? To see if he thinks that people listen to the program. So I repeat some of the things that he said. And you know what he said to me? Oh, you're going to listen, man. I said, you'll be surprised when people listen to the radio station and who actually call. So I am expressing my frustration with the traffic department this morning because I figure that they targeted certain drivers. And if I use the language that he used, the police department and the traffic standpoint, I understand that this officer normally discuss certain aspect of traffic relations. But not because he wants, it's because the drivers at the airport engage in traffic department conversation. And he responded and he's falling right into the trap and he don't realize that. So I'm expressing my frustration about the way traffic police officers handle perpetrators, and they should be dealt with, but don't target somebody because they have a different interpretation of how things should be done. You have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all right here tomorrow, 1:15 common time, okay?
All right. Kingsley, before you go though, morning. Did you, in the conversation that you had yesterday with the officer, did you offer any suggestions as to what you would like to see incorporated or done differently with the traffic talk segment?
That's a very good question, because like I said, I've been around WEFM for a long time, and traffic talk has been a discussion that's taking place. I can remember all about, and former superintendent then Constable Brown, Richard Brown, speak about the importance of traffic. And simple highlights and ask people to comply with the road signs will be able to assist people. Because let me tell you something, is that the first time when I came to the organization airport, you know what I did? I parked my vehicle up the top and walked down because the amount of traffic lines I see, I was confused. So I say if the police officers could highlight traffic signs every day, people will pay attention to most of the signs that are labeled on the road. Because at the international airport at Target, there's a such signs market here. Police notice, no parking or waiting. Hello, if you come to the airport every day, they transfer those markers into 4 million parking, you can park anywhere you feel like. More people don't know, so they don't really feel like. Yeah, okay, that's it. Let's have it.
Yeah, that's it. I will say the rest after. It's okay.
Well, thank you. Have a wonderful show tomorrow.
All right, you two Kingsley, have a good one.
All right, then we just had our commentary there from Kingsley, and he was talking about some issues with the traffic department. He mentioned thinking that some drivers seem to be targeted. He mentioned some of the things that are said in the traffic talk on mornings and how we'd like for it to be a little bit varied and a little bit more informative as well. Before we get into Kingsley's commentary, I mentioned this earlier. It's the 1st of July. I like no, so last year we were. Where were you last year?
At work. I was here at WEFM at work. All right.
Oh boy.
No, but I had left like around after 9.
Okay.
Yeah. When I started to see things flying, I knew it was time for me to head on home. Yeah.
All right. Then some of us were unfortunately down in the Grenadines. You were having a terrible time around this time last year. We're so happy that in the 1 year anniversary of Beryl, or on the 1 year anniversary of Beryl, we don't have any storms to say that, you know, they passed us or they created any damage thus far for the hurricane season. So we're very grateful for that. One of the things that we persons were worried about or to realize that the hurricane season was approaching again was what could happen to the Grenadines again if something were to pass, seeing that they are not fully recovered from the storm. So we're really, really happy that we don't have any storms or anything going on this morning. And we're just hoping for great things for the rest of this season as well, for a calm season until November. Yeah, November. I did remember when it ends. I was only pretending. Anyways, Roleza, morning to you again. What's going on? What's popping?
All right. Good morning. Good morning to SVG. Returning nationals. All right. I'm not sure. I can't even get the morning out. Somebody's calling. All right. Let me take this call quickly. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, my sister. Not going to be long. Thank you, Brother Kingsley. It's been paining me to speak about it. And this is why you have to really appreciate
Come on,
Kingsley.
you have a minute and a half. You hear?
Okay, a minute is enough. A minute is enough. What is Kingsley saying? You might sound like a boy, you're going against the police. My sister, I beg the police, I call them more than Kingsley, to tell them the devastation across our country in terms of the minivans. And Kingsley, you're so correct. And they say they write it down and they're going to do something. We have a dangerous situation in Annisville. You know, feeling passionate about it. These vans speed down here by Truckman area, come up from the church, coming up to Wow, and they overtake the three of them. And no police officers are there. And when you even see officers that are driving, outside of traffic, they just allow it to happen. Vans, basically, they're good van drivers, and the police just go at them, and you have so much other different traffic people that are breaking the law. And Kingsley, 100%. One good note in ending: the hurricane season is here. The 1st of July last year, we had less dust. This year we have, since June, the Sahara dust. That is what is saving us. Let us pray that God can give us the dust, because that session that with the dust coming out of Africa helps the system to stay basically calm, because dry in a system. And then we pray that God could spare our lives, because for me, my sister, we cannot afford what happened in the Southern Grenadines. I thank you all for understanding, and with Kingsley. This individual, I am so proud, Kingsley, I'm so proud of you. How many persons in this country can come here and highlight the very atrocities of the police? They're lazy, they're disorganized, and they need a serious shake-up again at the top. But I would go further. Sam, you have to step aside. As the head of the police, you have done a bad job.
All right.
A very bad job.
All right.
We need our whole country, man. We need a back to them.
And that's the thing with Hamo. Hamo just starts off so well. And then Hamo goes up with a pitch. I mean, he was doing just fine. Hamo, gosh, man. I don't want to make it seem like we always cutting you, but when you start, we have to do it, because it's going to be annoying, not just to us, but to the other listeners as well. Mm-hmm. You're making valid points, but come on. All right. Okay, so let me take this call. All right, Joshua, morning. You have a minute, please. Oh, less than a minute, actually. Morning.
Oh, we don't have to go back to Africa. Africa is coming to us in the form of the Sahara dust. I love St. Vincent. Now, just I'll make this as quick as possible. I have worked in the auto industry for some 30-something years with the largest importer of vehicles into Bermuda. And those lights that Kingsley is talking about, there must be some body or something that regulates what comes into the country. Any accessory or any additional thing that came on a vehicle into Bermuda that did not meet our standards, they have to be deactivated. The fog lights, for example, there's a switch that controls that, and then there's some lights that stay on all the time. They could be deactivated as well. So I really can't see Kingsley's point in arguing with the police. It's not up to the police. It's up to the traffic control or the motor vehicle division control to take care of that. Those lights could be deactivated. They're not there for like a Christmas tree. You're driving on the road sometimes and you think there's a Christmas tree coming towards you. So all those are non-issue. St. Vincent is no different from anywhere else. And in closing, I'd love to give a shout out to all the Bermudians who are in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, having a blast, eating all them plum rolls and Beckwith plum and mango and
breadfruit and saltfish and coconut dumplings and callaloo soup
breadfruit and saltfish
and coconut. You want me carry on? You want me go on more?
And I have to settle for plain bread and eggs.
All right, have a good one. Mm-hmm.
Anita, take care. I'm out with Mrs. Richardson is off, so we're going to be having a blast all of this week. She'll be driving me crazy, but I'm enjoying every minute of it.
All right, have a good one, Joshua.
Take care, guys. Yep.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right, so I just wanted to end. So yes, we are observing as well as recognizing the significance of today, not just for the persons here on mainland, but for those in the Grenadines, right? And we know that the passage of Hurricane Beryl has changed the lives of some persons permanently, all right? Some persons, when they hear rain falling, especially when it's intense, they still get a little bit of traumatized, right? I know I went through a little experience with some electricity going recently for an extended period of time, and I was starting to, but I know that what it is that I with that situation could not compare to what other persons have gone through in terms of losing homes, etc., right? So I'm hoping that everybody is on the road to recovery. Final thing, though, with regards to what Kingsley mentioned with the lights, etc., I know that in Cop Chat, I can't remember if it was what's his name again? The troublesome one. What's the name of the officer again? The troublesome one. He came in on his attend as well on the Sunday after. I forgot his name. I probably shouldn't say troublesome either. But I think we had posed a question to him, and he did mention that they are looking at revising or reviewing some of the current laws, because some of the laws that currently exist, they are a little bit outdated with regards to the vehicles that we currently have on the road, right? So they are looking to amend or to review some of those laws, and I think the lights might fall under that category as well. All right, so yeah.
All right. So we're going to have to stay right there for today. If it's anything relating to this particular traffic talk, as in the talk about traffic and traffic issues, then we could probably take that up in another segment. It's 8:03. We have to head out in about 2 minutes. We have to bring to you today's Foreign Policy in Focus. This time check came to us by the New Haven Funeral Home.
Death is a fact of life. Even though